Hi everyone and welcome to this lesson. Very often we use the expression surfing the net to refer to the particular activity that so many of us do on a daily basis, which consists of using computers, tablets, smartphones, or any other device to access the internet, a computer network that has now reached global dimensions. On the internet, we can obtain information of any kind by visiting the many sites that are part of the web, send email messages, but also buy all kinds of goods, book hotels, register for courses, or get in touch with other people. The internet is a computer network, the largest in the world, that allows devices connected to it to exchange information. Billions of pieces of information travel through the internet on a daily basis, which are part of the World Wide Web, or more simply, web. In fact, very often people surf the web to access the contents of websites, virtual spaces with images, text, videos, audio files, and many other elements inside them, organized into pages. Very often, people confuse the internet with the web. Although they are complementary, internet and the web are not the same thing. While the internet is the infrastructure that enables the transmission of data between different devices, the web is the set of side pages, the contents of which are enclosed in special containers, the so-called servers, that can be located anywhere in the world. The internet, then, is the computer network through which web content becomes accessible to users connected to it. In order to connect to the internet, thus to access the contents of the web, it is necessary to use a specific device, such as a computer, smartphone, or tablet, inside of which to install a special application called a browser, whose function is to display the web pages of the visited sites and allow all the operations of interactions with them. The word browser comes from the English verb to browse, which literally means to look at or through something to see what is there. The verb, therefore, refers to the activity that is performed when we all browse the web. That is, we search for information among those already present. Having seen what a browser is, let's analyze its operation by taking Google Chrome, the most widely used browser in the world, as a model. But keep in mind, there are other browsers that can be used for browsing the web. The most common are Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, and Opera. To recognize a web resource, such as a page of a site, but also an image or a text, we use the URL, Uniform Resource Locator, a combination of characters used precisely to identify it. The first element of a URL is the protocol. In the displayed example, it corresponds to the combination of letters HTTPS. We can compare the protocol to the language that browser and server use to communicate. The browser requests a certain web resource from the server, which provides it to him. In this way, content searched on the web can be displayed on the navigation device. The top-level domain, otherwise known as the TDL, top-level domain, is the suffix present at the end of the web address and is used to indicate a geographical area or the type of the site. Top-level domains are used by organizations in specific countries to indicate their geographical origin. Such domains are referred to as Country Code Top-Level Domain, CCTLD, and generally consist of two-letter suffixes. For example, .bg stands for Bulgaria, while .tn stands for Tunisia. Some top-level domains, however, may indicate the type of the site. Domains of this type are called the generic top-level domains, GTLDs, and are generally composed of acronyms consisting of more than 2 characters. The most common are .org, used by organizations and non-profits, .edu, by colleges and universities, .com, by sites engaged in commercial activities, .gov, by governmental organizations. The second-level domain is the name that needs to be registered during the creation of the website. How can we tell if the site we have came across is safe and secure? First of all, it should be pointed out that all browsers show before the web address the type of protocol used for communication with the web. HTTPS is the protocol used to encrypt data sent in normal web browsing, and it is among the most secure. So, by taking a look at the address bar of the browser, we can immediately tell if we are communicating via the HTTPS protocol. In addition, when web communication takes place in a secure manner, a small lock is displayed before the protocol. When you open the browser, you are ready to surf the web. This means you can move to other web pages by entering the relevant URL in the address bar. To reach a different web page than the initial one, proceed as follows. 1. Type the address of the web page you intend to view in the browser window. 2. Press the Enter button on your keyboard to display the web page. The back and forward buttons located at the top left of the browser window are very useful for browsing. In fact, they allow you to move between the many web pages you visit. If the web page you are on is no longer of interest to you, you can return to the previous one by clicking on the back button. Clicking the forward button, on the other hand, will take you to the next web page from which you moved previously. Very often, web pages are constantly being updated, so to enjoy the most recent content, it is advisable that you reload the web page you visited. In fact, all browsers have a button through which to do this, marked by a circular arrow. The Internet is a huge container capable of carrying a large amount of data and information. To make the best use of it, we need to learn how to effectively search for what we are interested in, using all the tools at our disposal. Generically, we speak of web searches to refer to the particular activity of finding precise information on the web. The web provides special tools for performing such searches, the so-called search engines. Search engines are defined as special tools that scan the web, indexing data, information, and documents within their databases. The currently most popular search engine is Google. The easiest way to find information on the web is to set up a search engine to find topics of interest to us according to certain keywords. In this way, you can view the results of that search and then choose which web page to open. To perform a search for information on the web using the Google search engine, proceed as follows. 1. Open your browser, such as Google Chrome. 2. Type Google in the web address of the search engine. 3. In the search engine box, type the keywords according to which you will search the web. For example, you may want to know the latest news about digital innovation, so type the keywords more suited for your topic. To perform a more targeted search, you could also add the name of your country or an application you would like to know more about. 4. Once you have typed in your keywords, press the Enter button on your keyboard. 5. The search engine will then proceed to explore the web, returning a list of links pointing to the web pages found according to the keywords entered. However, there will still be thousands of results sorted in such a way as to show first those which are closest to our interests. 6. Click on the link of your interest to view the corresponding page. It is a good solution to refine one's searches, inserting every time more words to make the searches closer and closer to our interests. Thus, the secret of a good web search is to identify the most effective keywords. If you wish, you can also perform image searches on the web. All search engines are in fact capable of scoring the web in order to select images according to the keywords you set. In Google, you can perform an image search on the web by selecting the images link at the top right of its interface and typing the keywords in the appropriate bar. As an example, we can perform an image search through Google by entering digital innovation as keywords. Very often, you will want to perform a search for images on the web and then use them differently according to your needs. In fact, by right-clicking on the image you are interested in, you can choose to copy it, to print it, or save it to a new location of your choice, as you would with any other file. There are many aspects to consider when browsing. Among the most important is the evaluation of the quality and value of the endless amount of information available on the web pages. In a list provided by a search engine, one might find, for example, one after another, the site of a non-governmental organization, a thematic portal, a cult magazine, the home page of a cuckoo clock enthusiast, a discussion forum, the blog of a student, the site of a very famous writer. To choose the information best suited to our needs, we must therefore be able to filter our searches using precise methods and strategies. First, it's always advisable to check that names of the writers or editors of the sites on which we are browsing is indicated. Anonymity is not a good sign at all. If there is a contact information of the editor, such as an email address, for example, it might be useful to contact them directly to ask for more specific information about the sources. Another important element is the date of the last update. In fact, failure to update might indicate poor care and attention to content, which in cases like this is very likely to be outdated. The presence of appropriate and correct bibliographical references is always appreciable, since it's the explication of the original sources, if any, from which the data comes. Another good indication might be the care with which the texts are written, for instance, the absence of spelling errors, or the graphic order in which the pages containing them are organized. It is good to keep in mind that even if the various pages listed after a web search all look the same, you are not looking at content of similar type and value. For this reason, it becomes even more important to check the provenance of the materials by carefully reading the address (URL) of the site. The address can give us a lot of information. As we said, we can find out what the geographic origin is, by which we can tell whether the texts are translated or not, and whether the editor is a company, a non-commercial organization, a governmental or military body or institution. Normally, we should give more credit to the sites of official agencies and bodies, universities, research centers, publishing houses, trade associations, and recognized experts and companies specialized in a given field, and less to the pages of unidentified individuals with rough translations and to huge container sites where everything can be found.